and the change in mentality of how we manage projects to ensure time and cost overrun are adhered to will address the issues we have in this country.
The hard work still pays, and it is the only sure way.
Professionalism. He's a family man. He's a man who respects.
High school exposed my leadership. Became a prefect in Form 2. In Form 3, became a dorm captain. In Form 4, I was a DH captain. For me, writing is therapeutic. I am a reader. I read 4 books in a month. For everything that is of importance for a human being in life, we create time for. Where I am today, I have worked hard to be here. My name is NASHON Okowwa. I'm 35 years old. I'm a third born in a family of 6, 4 boys and 2 girls. I was born in Moroni constituency, a place called Menara. My early days lived in Menara for around 4 or 5 years. Then I moved to a place called Summer Village. That's where I grew up. I'm born and bred in the village. All my childhood life was basically in the village. My education was a mixed one. I began my nursery in Menara School, my nursery school. Then I moved to Homerline Primary for my class 1 and 2. Then I went to a private school. My father was very, very strict on education. So the demand to do the best and the demand for the children to get the best was at the threshold of his parenthood. So I moved from Homerline at around class 4 and went to a private school called Legated Hill School, which is an academy. And that's where I sat for my KCPE. To finish in KCPE, I was supposed to be called to Olembo Boys, but my father insisted on me going to a school he had gone to before, called Tudiboro Secondary School, and I joined Tudiboro ultimately from Form 1 to Form 4. That's where I did my KCSE. Looking back, I think it was the right decision for my dad to insist I go to that school because there is where I thrived. I didn't only survive, I thrived. At Tudiboro, I entered in the year 2002. And for me, that is the school that shaped my leadership. That's where it nurtured and watered and pruned my leadership, because I enjoyed my life at Tudiboro. I became a prefect in Form 2. I was a dorm captain, assistant dorm captain in Form 2. In Form 3, became a dorm captain. In Form 4, I was a DH captain. And that is where I learned a lot of my leadership skills. People always ask, when did you realize you're a leader? I think high school exposed my leadership and trained me for the future leadership that currently have, and I believe is still going forward. So I took 4 years in Tudiboro as a normal secondary school, enjoyed my life. Probably I was a good footballer. I played for the school team from Form 2 to Form 4, and I enjoyed my life in high school. After Tudiboro, I was called to University of Nairobi to take BSc in construction management. By the way, I was supposed to do law. It's something that my parents wanted me to do, especially my mom, because at this point I lost my dad. I lost my dad in Form 4. So by the time I was going to campus, I was under the care of my mother that really wanted me to do law. And I had qualified to do law, but I wanted to come to Nairobi. So I wanted to do it at University of Nairobi, which was quite risky because I was smack on the point. And the advice was, if you don't get to University of Nairobi, you go to other campuses, other universities. Scared me. So I opted to change the course. And I went for construction management. So I was actually called to do BSc Construction Management University of Nairobi campus. Being a village boy, being called University of Nairobi main campus, that's basically in town, transforming from the village life into adjusting to the town reality was something that was something to take. Settled down by second year. Life in campus was tough, considering the course that I took. It's a tough course, quite demanded a lot from us, the students. Got my footing in second year, got into a lot of campus activities. I became the president of Construction Real Estate Student Association in my fourth year. Yeah, graduated with my honors in 2011.
And the change in mentality of how we manage projects to ensure time and cost overrun are adhered to will address the issues we have in this country. The path to embrace what I've just mentioned, or better project management of our single projects in this country, must begin with us in this room. Why do I say so? Because history is not written for us. History is written by us.
After campus, by God's grace, I did not tarmac. I began work, I think 2 months after campus, I was employed in a construction company. 2 months, I was not comfortable with that life with the contractor, changed my jobs, and I joined a project management company. I got married in the year 2014, basically 3 years after I left campus. Got married to a beautiful wife, and I'm a father of 2 beautiful daughters. I'm a father of girls. Got married, and it's been 7 years of married life that honestly I've enjoyed every bit up to this moment, and I'm hoping to still enjoy it if the Lord tarries. Something about myself, I will say I have the burden of leadership in me. As I mentioned, is leadership I found out in high school, but also looking back to my dad's life. My dad was a counselor, was in NAD, was in Sugar Board. A lot of leadership was on his, and sometimes I think I've inherited part of it. So leadership is part of me. I have a mentorship program that I mentor so many university students. Many look after myself, and I know not only in my profession but generally in the built environment, I mentor a lot of students in my life. Beacon Africa is a company I began in the year 2015. I worked for a company called Talent Estates for 5.5, 6 years. Rising from assistant project manager level to the senior management level of project management. And after this long time, did projects across the region, in Zanzibar, in Rwanda, did projects in Mozambique, in a lot of projects in Nairobi. I felt it was time, having done wide cadre of projects from residential to industrial parks to every single project that someone can dream of doing. I felt it was time to move on. And I began this company before I left my employment because I was seeing the future. So in 2017, I resigned from my position as a project manager of Trident Estates and began to run Beacon Africa Consultants. So we basically construction project managers. We do construction management consultancies. We do feasibility studies. We do construction management, and basically advising clients from the whole scale of from feasibility, from where a client has just a concept to all the way to handing over the key. So we manage the entire spectrum of construction process.
My name is John Mark Henga. I'm an engineer by profession, a construction engineer. I know NASHON from a while back as an individual that we met at a company that we used to work for to implement supervision of Trident Grand Riverside project. It's a multinational development built on Riverside Drive along Garden Road. It's a project that has won awards locally and internationally. And that it was so, for me, I was very proud to have had the opportunity to meet him through that project. In essence, NASHON OKOWA has brought ethics within the construction industry by speaking out on the ills and the unprofessionalism within which most of our industry professionals operate. And primarily is on the building collapses that happens day in, day out. His writings and his outspoken nature has allowed people to see the difference in terms of how to handle projects professionally. And that's something that really comes out as a very great trait when it comes to construction and delivery.
Some of the positive sides of COVID that I experienced last year is because of the amount of time that we had. I began the mentorship program for university students doing construction management. I realized that, look, COVID exposed us into realizing that life is short. Yeah, that people dying all over, not only in our country, but you could watch what's happening in Europe, in Italy, and the rest. And I realized that I needed to do more to impact the society and impact my profession. So I began what we call the NASHON OKOWA mentorship program, which I invite applications for students every year, which began last year to apply for the program, and I mentored them through a 12-month period into the profession, into the social life, into the soft skill part of life, and basically give them insights into their career and how they can navigate campus life and after campus life into work. So we're in the second year with the second cohort of students. I take 8 students every year for this mentorship program. Again, as I said, one of the positive sides of COVID is COVID forced us into digital adoption. I am a reader. I read 4 books in a month. The first thing I do in the office is read. 6:45, 6:30 for an hour. You will find me always on the books, except for Tuesdays, because it's a program I like watching. After that, I get into the company activities. By around 11, I will get into the association activities. For the foundation, we are in the advisory side of it. So we go down to South Africa every like 3 months or so. That's when you're required. It's a thought leadership. We are 16 in the advisory council. I happen to be the only one outside South Africa. In the rest of Africa, I was chosen as the only one, which is something I really appreciate. The foundation is simple. The foundation simply want our brains. They want our brains. That's why we were there. Give them the best ideas of how the foundation of construction management in the South African built environment needs to grow. So it's something we do remotely. Every 3 months we're down there. But juggling work and juggling family, let me bring family in the mix now, has been a difficult thing as well. Yes, it's not been easy. That's why one thing I came to realize is also the amount of time we have. It's always this, a video I like watching called The Myth of Have No Time. And it says that for everything that is of importance for a human being in life, you create time for. And for me, chairman of associations, managing director of Big One Africa Consultants, and my family, all right, these are all important things for me that I have to create time for. And I came to realize the amount of time we have in our lives. It's a lot. So at some point when this began, I will say one used to suffer. Yes, you'll go back home and it's late, or you may skip your kids' sports day. You know, those are treason offenses in family. Those are treason offenses in family. How dare you skip your daughter's sports day? But over time, I have managed to juggle this very well. And I tell people, for the last 3-4 years, I have never carried work home. I don't carry my work home. I leave my laptop in the office. At 6:30, I leave the office. I leave my laptop in the office. I go home without work. That is how my planning has helped me. So I have managed to juggle this life. And I will tell you confidently that I balance it out. Don't work on Saturdays. So I don't come to the office on holidays unless it's extremely important. I don't carry my work home. So I have my time with my family and I have time for my work. I began writing for the Standard newspaper in 2017. Actually, my first article for the Standard was in 2017, November. That was my first article. I remember very well. A lot of times I get to be asked, who was the big shot that you knew to being a columnist for the Standard newspaper? I knew no one. Before that, I wrote a lot of opinions on my social media, which I do to date. For me, writing is therapeutic for me. Whenever anything disturbs me, I write. And unfortunately, the things that disturb me most are the things in my industry. So before that, I used to write a lot of opinions on social media, especially Facebook and LinkedIn. I write a lot of my opinions. So I wrote a piece on, I still remember, it was on why developers struggle to do low-cost housing. And I remember one of the standard people asked me, look, can you put this in our column for this weekend? And I said, yes. That is how I began writing for the Standard. I've written for the Standard on construction matters for the last 4 years now, purely on real estate, construction, the built environment in general. I have passion for this industry, and that's why I stuck to writing about the construction sector. There is so much that the public out there do not know about our industry. You've seen the issues of building collapse, issues of people losing money in housing schemes, in Ponzi housing schemes. So my need was, my way was to expose the public into this conservative industry called construction sector, because it's so tightly knit. There's so much that is in it, but the public do not know. So I managed to write so much and expose the public to a number of the happenings and the bedevils in the construction sector. And I think it's something that I intend to do for a long time. So being a columnist is my daily life. I write almost on a daily basis. I don't write for the Standard only, I write for a daily basis. I write a lot of opinions, many that are still kept in my laptop, the end of my laptop. And ask me to send you an article for the whole of this week, I'll give you. For me, it's therapeutic for me. Anything that disturbs me, I write about it. So if I walk or I drive and a portal disturbs me, I write about that portal. That is how my writing has been. Helped me a lot also to read a lot of construction industry issues, a lot of laws, and generally a lot of books. So it's a privilege to write for the Standard as a columnist, and I hope I'll do that for a long time.
What piqued my eye mostly, I think, for the period that I've been able to know him, is a program that he runs on mentoring construction management students. It's majorly based at the UON, but he's been able to go around the country in different universities to support the upcoming students who just joined the university, all through the process of understanding what construction management and delivery and professionalism is all about. Of the same, I've seen him take through students in this office from time to time. People have gone to become very professionals. Some are employed by me as a company. Some have gone ahead to deliver extensively good projects out there. In essence, he's an individual that I would easily relate to as a person, based on one, his professionalism. He's a family man. He's a man who respects spaces and has an ambition to build the professional aspect of society, from taking students from the level of entry to college all the way to success. Beyond that, I would easily mention that he's even taken up a student that I support, my niece, who's also joined the UON. That goes personal for me as an individual, to be able to see him pick that kid for me and mentor them through that session.
So if you design a sewer system to accommodate 100 families, and then now you want to accommodate 500 families, it will burst. So we must demand better.
COVID-19, like any other company, has affected our life. We've not been immune to it. I think it's been a global effect that as a company and as individual, it has affected our life. Being an industry that is said to be second to only hunting in terms of digital adoption, COVID taught us to adapt to digital technology. It was unheard of to run meetings remotely, site meetings, construction site meetings. But COVID has taught us that we could do meetings remotely via Zoom, and which is part of the positive side, I would say, of COVID-19. So we had to adjust to our conventional ways of working to what I would call unconventional ways of working, of running projects remotely, which is something we thought was unheard of in this industry. As well, of course, with it, there's been the economic suppress. When the economy suffers, construction industry is not an exception to that suffering. It's been a slow since last year into part of this year. I think it peaked around end of first quarter of 2021, and again, it's slowing down into next year. So we had to do a lot of adjustments, working from home for employees, which is something, again, we had to do for a better part of last year. More of the people were working from home. And for us, this is a very technical industry. This is a very, what I would call, requires physical touch. If you're going to review a drawing with the people in the office, you want them to be present. So we had to learn how to review drawings remotely as well. And we had to learn how to basically work from home, which is a good part of adjustment that COVID taught us. For us, in the project management field, it's we always say project management is PR. Your client needs to see you to vet you and give you work. I would say that I have really worked hard to be where I am. One thing I tell every single person that I meet is that where I am today, I have worked hard to be here. Extremely worked hard. There was no silver lining in my life, I would say so. Apart from the opportunity to be given education and go out there were no silver linings. I had to put my foot down and transform my life and build this life that I have today. A lot of these things, because I get to be asked many times, when did you start becoming serious? Because apparently people think I was not serious before, and they also think I'm serious now. And I would say every human being that God created, He gave them the opportunity to be legendary. Every person is unique in their own way. That's why our thumbprint is the only one in the world. So at point I realized, look, I'm not here forever. I'm here for a season, and I have to live my life like I have a duration to live, which is not very long and very short. I don't know when. So I got serious with it and built my reputation around what I wanted to achieve. Part of it is what I think is the dream that I have. I always say have dreams that don't make you sleep, and I do have them. I have a lot of things that, if by the God's grace, it gives me life, I will want to achieve. One thing I want to say also has guided me to where I am right now is, I think, the fear of God. I am a believer in Christianity, a very staunch one, and that's why my Sundays I never have any meetings. I go to church. So that sort of has given the boundaries to work, to build my life, build my reputation, and it's been an awesome one because out of it there are things that people do that because of my Christian life I will not do because of those boundaries. Those have been my boundary lines in my guidance into what I have become as a person. So hard work, I know we're in a society where we want to encourage everything and everyone to just perform anyhow. But one thing I can say, hard work still pays, and it is the only sure way to success. So I have worked hard to be where I am.
And the change in mentality of how we manage projects to ensure time and cost overrun are adhered to will address the issues we have in this country.
The hard work still pays, and it is the only sure way.
Professionalism. He's a family man. He's a man who respects.
High school exposed my leadership. Became a prefect in Form 2. In Form 3, became a dom captain. In Form 4, I was a DH captain. For me, writing is therapeutic for me. I am a reader. I read 4 books in a month. For everything that is of importance for a human being in life, you create time for. Where I am today, I have worked hard to be here.